This week's episode of Quality Irrelevant is brought to you by Uncle Jimmy's rustic, handmade, custom-built knife to the eye. Have you ever had enough of this shit? Have you ever provided your sponsorship to a podcast and you were assured was surprisingly popular, only to find out that it's regularly listened to by 3 people and Patrick Fabian that one time? Have you ever wanted to get your money back in the form of a bucket of eye blood? Uncle Jimmy has, and that's why he created Uncle Jimmy's rustic, handmade, custom-built knife to the eye. When you need to get your money's worth from a fucking podcast, only Uncle Jimmy's rustic, handmade, custom-built knife to the eye will do. Do you hate Quality Irrelevant? Uncle Jimmy knows that Patrick Fabian doesn't hate them, but he also knows that Uncle Jimmy hates Quality Irrelevant and wants to stab them in the goddamn brain holes. That's why this week he's endorsing Uncle Jimmy's rustic, handmade, custom-built knife to the eye. Uncle Jimmy's rustic, handmade, custom-built knife to the eye. Buy now using the order code FUCK-QUALITY-IRRELEVANT and you can get a free Uncle Jimmy's rough-hewn, wheel-spun deadly bullet to the dick. Uncle Jimmy says Quality Irrelevant can go eat a dumpster full of cocks. So, I feel like we might be in trouble with our main sponsor.
He sounded a little upset, which is a shame because he is literally our meal ticket.
Yeah, all of our money comes from him.
Yeah, and it's not very much.
And yet without it, I will not be able to live.
I mean, it is nice that as a bit of a perk, we get a jar of scrapings.
Yeah.
I do enjoy my scrapings jar. Goes down a treat. Uncle Jimmy's scrapings. Mmm.
Are you stepping on my ad reads now?
Oh, no, because the scrapings aren't a product. We just get them from, the farm and the factory floor. All the different pies that Uncle Jimmy has got his fingers stuck in, we get a scraping of.
So some weeks we might get a scraping of fuck replicants.
Yep.
Other weeks we might get a scraping of anthrax.
It all goes in the jar.
It all goes in the jar. The jars are horrible.
It's all in the jar.
The jars are now considered a massive biohazard.
Massive biohazard or holy relic? Only you can decide.
I think it's a biohazard.
Well, yes.
So I'm not convinced that Uncle Jimmy will be returning to sponsor Quality Irrelevant again.
It's the end of an era.
Yeah, because I'm very bored of writing those ad reads.
Right, shall we get started?
Yeah, I think we should.
Well, I say get started, but don't get me started.
That's a good joke. I enjoyed that. Normally, other weeks we would have skipped over you making a brilliant joke like that, but I just wanted to really shine a light on it.
Well, I want to shine a light on the lack of common decency in this psychiatric hospital that I am now in. I mean, my word, I have never seen such bad manners. I had to strangle one of the inmates. Sorry, patients.
Patients, definitely patients.
Definitely patients, definitely. They're
free to go at any time.
Yeah, because they didn't eat a baby.
Except the morning or the afternoon or late at night.
Anyway, I had to strangle one of the other inmates with one of my socks because the bastard tried to get the last of my fig rolls. Just snatched it right out of my hand.
Well, that's never how you want a Monday to go.
I could not believe it. I mean, Jesus Christ, what kind of a world do we live in where someone's fig rolls are not sacrosanct?
Well, I do know how much you love your fig rolls, so I'm genuinely not surprised that you would be willing to murder.
Damn right, when I was on the outside, you can get a pack from Sainsbury's for 40p. I should maybe pursue Sainsbury's for a fig roll sponsorship, where I'm not paid in money, but I'm just paid in fig rolls. So that would work out for me. Everything would be coming up Theo in that case.
I do not wish to be paid in fig rolls.
Well, I think we can forfeit your fee on this little deal that I'm doing on the side here.
Are you essentially just going to go to Sainsbury's and steal some fig rolls?
You've given me an idea, but I feel if I admit it live on air... Live? Shit, this is going out live now, and it's on the air somehow. Holy shit, rather than just into my hard drive.
Who commissioned this?
Now that's a fucking question. But no, speaking of deals on the side, I know how I can get back at that prick. The prick who snatched my fig roll.
Beyond strangling him with one of your socks.
Well, yes, but I mean, that's just par for the course.
Oh, that's just standard course of action in whatever place that you're pretending you're in.
It happens 5 or 6 times a day here. No, instead, I gave that last fig roll, which was only slightly semen-stained, thanks Miggs. I gave it to a security guard, and in exchange, he will creep into that bastard's room at night whilst he's strapped down and lick his face like Sarah Connors in Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
Punishment fits the crime.
Damn right, and that's... And that's... It is a bit sad that my impression of psychiatric hospitals is influenced so much by popular culture, because most of the other time it's like, oh, the haunted hospital. The patients are running the place. You know, or it's like fucking haunted, or like some doctor went mental and performed cruel and unethical experiments on the inmates. I mean, it's just stigmatizing mental health.
Or if it's not like a horror lunatic asylum, sorry, whatever, psychiatric institution, it's like just a really horrible place with just a horrible woman and people getting lobotomized left, right and center, and then the people who've been lobotomized being suffocated by Indian chiefs.
Or sometimes performing the lobotomies as well. Like once you've been lobotomized, then you become like a slave and you must do the bidding of your masters.
Is that a thing that happens? Do they go, oh, you have been lobotomized, now you must do the lobotomies?
I think that's poetic justice. Anyway, I just wanted to point that out, that that's not what we're doing here. We're not making fun of mental health, so it's completely okay. And there is nothing like that going on in this loony bin. Okay, there are a few, like, Riddler ones, you know? And there's a few, like, Joker ones in
who
there.
have, like, written things all over the walls of their, not cells, but, private wards.
And you've got like your Two-Faces and stuff, and your Harley Quinns and that. But they're off in their own ward, not in our ward, so it's okay.
Do you ever come into contact with some form of clay face?
Well, I did bump into Killer Croc the other day, and may I just say...
That's awkward. He's angry.
How the fuck did he become a thing? Because at least with the lizard in the Spider-Man, that's neogenics. There was some, like, experiment. Didn't Killer Croc... Wasn't he just like, oh, I licked a crocodile when I was a kid or something, and now I am part reptile?
I don't remember. I believe in the Suicide Squad, they're just explaining it away by going, he's a cannibal with a skin condition.
Well, I'll ask him about it next time I see him, but that may explain it, and that may be where Miggs's left arm went.
You can understand him being angry, he's just so damn itchy.
Oh yeah, I mean, dry and scabby and scaly.
And hungry for human flesh.
Yeah, and I try to turn his leg into a purse. Aren't we supposed to mention the topic?
Well, maybe. So I specifically picked my recriminations and sentiments to adhere to this week's topic.
That is absolutely fine, because my adherence to the topic is, what's the word I'm looking for? Cursory?
Okay, well, that's fine. We'll just have a little go at the topic this week.
Yeah, like we might get a B for effort.
That's probably pushing it.
Yeah, okay, fine.
So I have 3 recriminations and or sentiments. I can't really tell which one is which.
They have become really ambiguous in recent weeks.
Yeah, these are all very short, so we don't have to linger on them too much. So the first one just says, this is not simply entertainment. So I'm not sure if we're better or worse than simply entertainment.
I think what has been done here is that is actually meant to be a question.
This is not simply entertainment. It had a full stop.
So it's not a rhetorical statement, it's the opposite of that. It's like when you say a statement but you expect an answer. So we have to like almost grade him on what he's saying there. So when he's saying it's not entertainment, well, we're not.
No.
So yes, correct. Tick.
Tick.
Big tick from quality irrelevant there.
Gold star.
So that's good.
Yeah.
We like him.
They're accurate at least.
Or her. Sorry, God, every week I make this fucking mistake. I expose myself as the chauvinist that I am.
Yep. Horrible. So the second one just reads, looks Oscar suspicious to me. So I think someone thinks that we're going to get an Oscar for the podcast.
That sounds like something the Zodiac killer would write to an unsuspecting victim.
In code.
Was it in code? Was it just like a page of numbers and like you had to get like a cipher and work out what was said?
As far as I can tell, it was posted to a police station in the 1970s.
Oh, okay. Did it have like the blood of a teen couple on it as well, who had clearly been like making out at the park and meet?
Well, there was blood on it. I cannot confirm who the blood was from. It did smell like teen blood, though.
I bet.
You know, it has that slightly alcoholic tang to it.
Okay, well, in that case, now I'm going to retcon the idea that the Zodiac killer is in here with me.
Oh, okay.
Wait, no, he was never caught.
No, could be anywhere. Could be you.
Could be me. Could be me. I wasn't born at the time.
Well, isn't that just very convenient for you that you weren't born when you were doing the Zodiac killings?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't exhibited any behaviour. Wait, that's not true. I can't stand by that.
No.
Anyway, what the fuck did the Zodiac killer say? Because it's canonically him now.
Oh, looks Oscar suspicious to me.
Well, he'd know. I mean, he's got good taste.
Yeah.
He got Mark Ruffalo to play him, I believe.
No, Mark Ruffalo was in that movie. I don't think anyone actually played the Zodiac killer.
No, that was the reveal at the end. That was the reveal. Mark Ruffalo sort of turns to the camera and says, "Ah ha ha! It was me!"
Wasn't it John Carroll Lynch?
No, he wasn't in that film.
He was.
No,
he was like the main suspect of being a Zodiac killer.
No. Oh yeah, he was. He was that journalist that got really like drunk because he got threatened.
No, that was Robert Downey Jr.
I know. I think you're getting confused with Iron Man.
Oh,
that's a different film.
I always do that.
Yeah, because John Carroll Lynch played Iron Man in Iron Man.
I remember now.
There we go. That would make a better film, I feel.
Like a big fat man stuffed into the same size Iron Man suit.
It would be good to see a fat Iron Man. I wonder if that's ever been a thing before.
Fat Iron Man.
Anyway, do we have anything to say to the Zodiac killer in response?
Just keep doing what you're doing. Good work.
Keep on keeping on.
Keep on trucking and killing.
Yeah.
So one final recrimination and or sentiment. It's like a needle in the internet haystack.
Was that Gary Busey?
Did you know that Gary Busey played the train in the movie Unstoppable?
But that would make a lot more sense, because that film really needed like a good third act, because it really didn't have one. It was just, and now the film ends, they stop the train.
Yeah, it just sort of didn't really go anywhere.
If they had like a reveal, like the front of the train turns round to look at Denzel Washington when he's running down the train and says, "Get off of me!" and then like spit comes out of those like donkey-like teeth.
I enjoy the fact that you've made Gary Busey sound like the bad guy in the first Men in Black film. Who I recently found out that's Vincent D'Onofrio.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, it is.
What? Wait a minute. No, hold on.
Yeah.
No fucking way.
Vincent D'Onofrio as Edgar the Bug.
Holy shit.
But, you know, the bit where he just goes, "Where is it?" You made Gary Busey sound like that.
Holy Christ, that was Vincent D'Onofrio. That's fucking weird.
Yeah.
I just know him as, you know, latter day Vincent D'Onofrio, who's like, "I play the Kingpin in televisions. The daredevil.
The dead devil.
The devil who dares. I like this painting. It is white.
It's a brilliant impression.
I look somewhat confused when I speak and then get very angry and grab you and say, I will tear you down, and then go soft and quiet again, and I look like a very large baby.
I will smash your head in a car door until your head is decapitated from your body.
That was a good line.
Yeah.
I love that bit in the show.
So those are all my recriminations and sentiments there. I handpicked them because the topic for this week is no questions. And the first two were YouTube comments on the trailer for the movie Snowden. And the third one was an actual quote from that trailer spoken by Nicolas Cage. It's like a needle in the internet haystack.
Wait, Nicolas Cage is in Snowden?
Yeah, he plays like a army guy.
He's the army guy.
That's his character name, army guy. So those were my recriminations and sentiments. They led us down a weird rabbit hole about the Zodiac killer, Vincent D'Onofrio in Men in Black, and Nicolas Cage playing an army guy.
Well, I agree. We can't really say whether or not those were recriminations or sentiments. It was a bit mixed. And I have this one this week, and I say one because I don't know what it is. It's a bit of a long one, and again, this could go either way. I like to think it's because we have an eclectic viewership.
Yeah.
They don't like to be contained by boundaries or borders. They don't like to be put into a box. So I'm just going to read this out and hopefully it won't go on for fucking ever. I have been listening to Quality Irrelevant in my sleep for several weeks now. Not by choice, you understand. My spouse has secretly been placing headphones on my head unbeknownst to me after I fall asleep. I suspect she harbours a desire to murder me, but she is unwilling to face the legal consequences of smashing my skull with a meat tenderizer. Although I do not wish to criticise an entertainment product that I have not fully committed my attention to, I feel I should at least share the laundry list of physical and emotional ailments I now suffer from as a result of being exposed to Quality Irrelevant. I first noticed a change when I woke up one morning and my feet were on back to front. This has made getting around quite difficult and I can no longer retrieve the milk from the doorstop in the mornings. Since then, I have developed a nervous tic that often results in short but violent outbreaks of thrashing limbs and hemorrhaging. I must say this has caused comment amongst our social circles and ruined many of my nice jumpers. Now, I have always been a reserved and respectful man, if I say so myself, but nowadays I find myself staring at the cashiers in Londis, loudly grunting and sweating with my hand thrust down my trousers and pants, shaking it up and down as if I am manually manipulating my genitals for pleasure. I can say with almost 100% certainty that this is new behaviour for me and is quite out of character. Next, I must tell you about the uncontrollable weeping and strange animalistic hunch postures I now adopt for hours at a time, and oh god, Phil, Christ, it just goes on like this, blah blah blah, I can't go near tiddlywinks ever again, blah blah blah, what will the vicar think? I mean, he just doesn't stop, Phil. He just goes on.
Have we created some sort of beast?
I mean, look, I'll just skim through the rest. Let's see. Okay, loss of hair, specifically eyelashes, phobia of toast, howling at the sun, electrokinesis. Oh, that one we might actually know something about, as Phil is the world's foremost scholar of superpowered conditions.
I am that.
But I know you like to take the weekdays off, Phil, and you don't like to talk shop on the podcast.
No.
So, sorry, can't help there.
Sorry.
I don't know what to do with this, Phil. Like, this is way too much. I mean, it's very heartfelt, but I mean, I'm not even a third of the way through.
To be honest, at the moment, I'm thinking that the kindest thing we can do is hunt him down with shotguns.
Yeah, sort of put him out of his misery.
Just sort of end him.
Yes. Is that... I mean, it wouldn't be murder, would it? It would be euthanasia, right?
It would be mercy.
Mercy murder.
Yeah. Mercy manslaughter, I think.
Anyway, I stopped paying attention after the first paragraph, mostly because he makes a mistake of calling us an entertainment product, which I think is something we had earlier. This is a misnomer here. This is not true. I would say we're more sort of life advice and pop culture analysis.
Education, if you will.
Yes. And with a touch of political and business acumen. I would say we're much better suited for the lecture hall or the business convention.
We are in many ways the full package.
Exactly, yeah. The academic conference, that's where we should be. Quality Irrelevant should be submitted as a peer-reviewed journal.
Quality Irrelevant should be the next format it will take will be the TED Talk.
So, you know, we're not part of your bloody fucking variety shows or your light entertainment venues. Like, you wouldn't catch us on BBC Three.
No, God no. Rather self-immolate than be on BBC Three. Because
he referred to us as an entertainment product, I couldn't really get past that. And you did mention the thing of mercy murder. You know what? Fuck it. We're gonna break tradition here. That one was from Malcolm Hardwich in Thatcham. Go put a brick through his window or just crush his head with a big stone or something.
Get a pitchfork and ram it right up him.
I mean, I know he does ask for help at the end, but...
who's got time to read to the end?
And this is the No Question special of Quality Irrelevant, so... sorry.
Sorry about that, Malcolm.
It's not a problem if you, like, murder your fan base, is it?
Well, if they've turned into some sort of chupacabra, I think it's fine to just order everyone else to run them over and stick a screwdriver in the ear.
Okay, I think that's brought us to the end of recriminations and sentiments.
Thank Christ. This is another Phil's Fun Film Fact!
Oh shit, we're still on the film thing. Oh god.
I'm not going to play the whole thing.
Oh, thank Christ for that.
Following the rousing success of Phil's Fun Film Facts, remember all of those with a PH, I thought I'd bring it back. I don't have 5 this time, I only have 1.
Well, yeah, I would have thought you've had to strike the Vincent D'Onofrio one off your list because we've already done that.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. So I'm going to hit you with a Phil's Fun Film Fact. Are you ready? Did you know that the original plans for the part-animated cartoon bear classic Yogi Bear 3D were actually far more explicit? Everyone knows that the titular hungry bear only wears a hat and tie, but you never normally see anything of a, shall we say, sensitive nature. Well, all that was meant to change with Yogi Bear 3D, which was to be the first mainstream CGI animated movie showing a full uncensored bear dick. Not only that, but it would have been the first movie to highlight the burgeoning sexual relationship between Boo Boo and Ranger Smith in a sensitive and highly erotic manner. However, budgetary issues prevented the production from hiring the 16 animators required to accurately depict Yogi Bear's throbbing member, and the groundbreaking film was turned into something much more family friendly. It's a real shame because he would have been harder than the average bear.
How old is Boo Boo?
We don't like to comment on that because it's one of the reasons that his sexual relationship with Ranger Smith is sort of can't really be depicted in the family-friendly version. It sort of brings up some difficult questions about adult sexuality. He does wear a little bow tie, though.
That is for animation reasons.
Yep, I have a bonus fact about Yogi Bear 3D.
Are we just going to ignore the fact that there may be pedo content in that?
Yep, speaking of Yogi Bear 3D, did you know that the Japanese translation of the film's title is Cravat Bear Steel Picnic Ranger Drink Heavy?
You made that up.
No, I did not. That is true. If true, I made it up.
The thing is, though, you could pass it off as real. I probably shouldn't have called you out on it.
You're a bad person and a bad friend.
So that was your film fact.
Yeah. It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
The thing that I like about that fact is that Yogi Bear 3D, universally accepted as not a great movie, except by TJ Miller.
You loved it.
Who loved it because he was in it.
Misguidedly.
I think it would have been a lot more interesting if it had pushed the boundaries a bit more, had, full-on floppy bear dick and questionable paedophilic relationship.
Yeah.
Paedophilic and bestiality. Ranger Smith is not a bear, so...
Yeah, I guess the whole pedoing thing doesn't really come into it if they're different species.
Well, is being a person who enjoys bestiality but only with underage animals like the bottom of the barrel in terms of sexual perversion?
I mean, you could make an interesting case here. What if humanity has nothing to do with being biologically human? It's just a state at which intelligence or emotional maturity or certain cognitive processes reach a certain level of complexity to achieve self-awareness and consciousness. That in itself becomes human. So the fact that Boo Boo, being a talking and self-aware bear of indeterminate age, the fact that he is seemingly human in all but biological makeup, legally, morally, politically, and philosophically, he should be treated as a human because he fulfills that criteria. And so the bestiality angle sort of dissolves into the background somewhat, and you are just left with the difficult question of whether you are pedoing a young bear or not.
Just because you put a bow tie on a bear doesn't mean you're allowed to have sex with it, Theo.
But it does make it a human, apparently. Is that where, the consciousness is stored?
In his bow tie.
Yeah, you dead off, will he just, eat the ranger?
Are you positing that there is some sort of magic property to the clothes that Yogi and Boo Boo wear?
Well, unfortunately, I'm aware of the fact that they have those clothes because it's a It's all an animation trick. Are you aware of this?
No.
Oh, okay, then this might actually be educational.
Oh, we'll have to cut it out, sorry.
Hanna-Barbera are a bunch of talentless hacks, or were, I should say. They're dead now, thank Christ, both of them. And so they try to cut down on animation costs as much as possible. And you'll notice this in cartoons. If you animate the head, you also have to animate like the shoulders as well, and the neck, and the whole upper body sort of needs to move. Whereas if you just have a dividing line across where the neck is, you suddenly can keep the body perfectly still and just animate the head. So you'll see this a lot in the cartoons, where the body will be still, or they'll be like running or something, but just their legs move or whatever. But they'll be talking and looking around, but their shoulders don't move, nothing else moves apart from their head. But because they've got this line, which is a collar and a tie on the Yogi Bear, and the Boo Boo has a bow tie, and you get this with like Top Cat and all this crap. The whole point of having anthropomorphic animals wearing random parts of clothes is to cut down purely on animation costs.
So laziness created Yogi Bear.
Yes.
As we know him today. I'll be honest, I wasn't really listening to a lot of what you were just saying.
That's
because
fine.
I just found out that the guy who made the Ren and Stimpy,
Oh, what's his name?
John Crickfalusi, he made a Yogi Bear cartoon called Boo Boo Runs Wild.
I'm guessing it's pretty semen-y.
So the plot, as described on Wikipedia, is just when Ranger Smith is making sure everything in Jellystone Park is in order, Boo Boo enters a feral state due to his impatience with all the rules, much to the displeasure of Ranger Smith, who expected Yogi Bear to do this. Boo Boo's actions go from clawing the backsides off trees to savagely devouring honey from a hive. So Yogi Bear, scared, decides to attack and fight with Ranger Smith, and the cartoon ends with Boo Boo turned back to normal by Yogi and Ranger Smith.
That is deeply disturbing.
It's strange.
God, Ren and Stimpy. Those were my formative years, I feel.
Yeah, and the old Rocco's Modern Life.
Oh, now that was good. He worked at a sex hotline.
Yeah.
Was there that frog in it? There was like a frog person
I don't remember.
who sounded like Harvey Fierstein.
Hey.
He was like, "Oh, Rocco. Oh, this is your modern life. Oh."
That is, you've never done that voice before, but I should warn you, it is dangerously erotic.
It is a very erotic. I mean, Harvey Fierstein is just a ball of erotic energy.
Yeah.
And I would say a ball because he is perfectly spherical last time I saw him.
That is true. I think he might be dead.
No, he's not dead.
I think he's dead.
No, he's in Independence Day.
Oh, I just found out he's not dead.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody who thought that Harvey Fierstein was dead. Turns out he's not. Why was your judge of him not being dead the fact that he was in Independence Day? Because 20 years ago.
That's like a hot new film that all the kids are talking about.
They're talking about the sequel, but the original, it was made 20 years ago.
Yeah, that is a shame. And he won't be in it because he got blown up.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm getting blown up by an alien. It's worryingly close to your Patrick Fabian voice.
I can only do the one voice.
Fortunately, it's a perfect Harvey Fierstein impression.
There we go. That's all fine.
So this is not accessible because none of our listeners know who Harvey Fierstein is.
What? Go do your fucking learning, kids.
Yeah, do a learn.
Do your learning and fucking learn who Harvey Fierstein is and why he is amazing.
Because he talks like that. So this is my film pitch. Mm-hmm. The title will reveal itself partway through. Essentially what I've done is I've fleshed out the beginning and the end, and then the middle is sort of just a bit vague, and there's a few bits and pieces that we can talk about in the middle. Mostly it's just we got the opening scene and the final scene.
I mean, do people even remember the middle of films? I don't.
I don't think so.
I'm there for the beginning, I go to sleep, I wake up and I see the end. I
think that's...
And then that's it. I go home to my lady living wife.
Are you going to porn cinema?
Well, everyone knows that was a bit of a lie I just said because I'm locked up. So I ain't going to any
peep shows
or wank shows, as they're affectionately known.
Cum-drenched cinemas.
Are those still even a thing?
I don't think so. I hope not.
Oh, okay, maybe there are certain people who have a fetish for whacking it in a room full of people pretending to ignore the fact that you're clearly whacking it. Maybe that's their kink, so they need that, or like maybe their first wank happened at one of these places, so that's like a trigger, like they need that to get that thrill. They need these places, so maybe they'll perpetuate for that reason. Okay, this applies across the entire board for everything, okay, that happens on this podcast or that we discuss on here. If you're doing something because it makes you all like sexed up or whatever, I can understand that. Okay, if you're doing it for that reason, that's fine. Other reasons I'm not so clear on. Like, there are certain fads, like planking. Was that a sex thing?
I think so.
Because if it wasn't, I don't understand.
Planking, free running, selfies, I think they're all sex things.
If that's what you need, or you've discovered a new side of yourself, this is a thrilling awakening of some kind, that's great. You do you. I wouldn't want to take that away from anyone. Any other reason is a bit suspect.
Yeah. Don't plank because you saw it on the internet. Only do it if you get off on it.
Well, it's like if you saw someone squatting on someone's chest and taking a dump, but they do it for sort of like sexy kind of reasons or whatever, you might go like, oh, well, I'm not turned on, but they clearly are, and good for them. I wish they didn't do it in the middle of the train station, but whatever, okay, that's their thing, fine. If they then turned to you and said, oh no, this doesn't turn me on at all, you then be like, whoa. What the fuck is that?
Well, yeah, because you'd have to try and understand the actual reasons for it.
Well, I don't want to go... I mean, that's a dark path you walk, Phil. I wouldn't want to walk it with you.
Well, you don't have to.
Anyway, what the fuck are we doing? Film pitch.
Film pitch.
Okay, fuck it. Shoot.
So, here we go. We open on a blasted post-apocalyptic wasteland. A stream runs beige with disgusting blood-flecked foam, and a weird fucked up mutant coyote laps some of it up and then shoots foam out of its eyes and ears.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. This sounds unfamiliar. Please continue.
The silhouette of a horse with a shadowy rider appears on the horizon. And I've just noted down some key influences, which I don't normally notice that you do. So like your John Ford, your Sergio Leone.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Possibly even George Miller.
Oh, yeah.
I put Adam Sandler and then crossed it out because I thought probably not.
Whoa.
So then we cut to the horse rider, and he's sort of standard cowboy, you know, with like a big hat and like a long jacket.
A duster.
He's got a scarf covering his, like, the lower part of his face, so you can only see his eyes and his hat. And he also has a big fucking halberd on his back, and one of his legs is a chainsaw.
How's he riding a horse if he has a chainsaw leg?
He goes through a lot of horses.
Yeah, I bet. Like, if every single time he's like, yeah!
Yeah, like, off camera, there's just, like, a chain of living horses, and across the landscape there is just littered with dead horses.
Ugh. Have you heard the sound of a dying horse? It is not pleasant. I mean, my God, that will haunt your fucking dreams, I tell you.
Well, it doesn't for me, really, because, you know, like whale noise, I have dying horse sound instead of that.
So it just puts you to sleep.
It does. So the cowboy, he looks directly into the camera and he pulls the scarf covering his nose and mouth down to reveal the face of patron saint and new best friend of Quality Irrelevant, Patrick Fabian.
Holy shit, he's in this?
Yeah.
We got him.
Surprise, surprise, motherfucker.
Wow.
So he then says, I'm Road Warrior Patrick Fabian, and this is a post-apocalyptic world that has been ravaged by a strange and unusual man-made phenomenon, and I'm a warrior with a halberd and a chainsaw leg. So that's like the iconic opening line of this movie.
Damn right. That's his, like, for me, it was Tuesday line.
So he then, like, he rides back to the homestead, like, hopping between horses as they just fall down and die.
Wait. Does he just have, like, a line of horses, like, lined up, sort of doing leapfrog on them?
Essentially, yeah. He's sort of just hopping from horse to horse as they ride towards his destination.
Bloody hell. Well, at least we'll know what we'll feed the crew with.
Yeah. Horse. So yeah, he gets back to the homestead and it's shit. I'll be honest with you, Theo. It's like made up of just tents, and some people there, they don't even have a tent, they just have a hole that's not quite deep enough for a human person.
Oh, they're not even trying. Where's the corrugated iron shelters? Where's the bits of random tarp and the, like, a roof that's just made of sticks?
We're just showing how post-apocalyptic this is. Like, they just don't have any resources. They live in a hole.
Does that offer any protection? I guess if there's a nasty wind.
No, it's pretty much just their head and shoulders sticking out of a hole.
Do they each have their individual holes, or is there like a big family hole?
It's a family hole. It's definitely not big enough for everyone though, so they're all like crammed in.
So there's some people that are just like next to the hole.
Yeah.
Like with maybe a foot in or something.
Yeah. You know, we're just trying to highlight the really horrible living conditions of the post-apocalyptic wasteland.
As a millennial, I think I class as, I always thought living in the post-apocalypse would be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what the fiction says.
We all desire to live in the post-apocalypse because we secretly all wish to shoot our neighbours in the head with impunity.
Yeah, and it's almost like, oh, I've sort of fucked up my life, but maybe if the world ended and all values were sort of thrown out the window, then no one could look at me in a judgmental way. So I long for the world to end so I can just sort of like get over my self-esteem issues.
Yeah, I just wish to be free of judgment.
Yep.
But also stab a person in the eye.
So we're like breaking down tropes here, I see. You're trying to say is actually, kids, the post-apocalypse, not very cool.
No.
Not very cool.
Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Not cool.
Not cool.
So yeah, Road Warrior Patrick Fabian, that's his character name.
Wait, are there any roads? He's just been on like a leapfrog across horses.
Yeah, I mean, Horse Warrior Patrick Fabian didn't quite have the same ring to it, so he's called Road Warrior.
Okay.
Just go with it, because fuck you.
Okay.
So he comes back and he reunites with his friend, Mayor Mark Strong of the homestead. So he says, "Welcome back, you dirty slag. Did you bring us anything back from your travels?" Then Road Warrior Patrick Fabian says, "I brought back all the necessary things for the plot to continue, which is evidence of how the apocalypse happened." And he dumps a big sack down in front of Mayor Mark Strong. Mayor Mark Strong opens it and immediately he throws up and shits himself.
Wow, that's a strong reaction.
And then, like, while he's wiping it away from his mouth and anus, he just asks, "Is that what I think it is?" And then Road Warrior Patrick Fabian says his new catchphrase, which I think we should carry forward from this film pitch. He says, "You bet your sweet delicious dick it is." So that's his new catchphrase, and I expect to see it in any future film pitches involving Patrick Fabian.
I don't know. I don't think it's ever gonna occur again.
Well, probably not. We have no follow through. So then Mayor Mark Strong says, "Well, this changes fucking everything then." And then they just walk off. As the audience, we then see the contents of the sack.
Oh.
And it is a bunch of human heads shooting foam and gunk out of the eyes, noses, and mouths.
I can't imagine such a thing. I don't know.
And then we slam into the title, Fuck Water 2, Fucked Water.
Okay, can we just pause here for a second?
Maybe.
I already have a contract signed for Fuck Water 2. Now, the only detail so far is the name.
Yeah.
So I want to just run past you an alternate title, which we actually have the rights to.
Okay.
Fuck Water 2. Now, I'm going to keep that. And then was there a colon?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, we're on the same page. Keep that. And then what was it? Fucked Water?
Well, it was a toss-up between Fucked Water and Dawn v Justice.
I do like the second one because it means literally nothing. But I have a contract in my hand right now for a film entitled Fuck Water 2, Too Fucked to Waterer.
I do like that.
So could we maybe go with that title instead? Because that's all I had written down for that film pitch. And if you take that title, then I can just cross it off my list and don't have to think about it again.
Okay, so it's a good thing because I never mention the title again. So the new title is Fuck Water 2, Too Fucked to Waterer.
Brilliant.
Okay, so my first note, like post-title sequence, you might find a little bit insulting.
Okay.
The film disregards everything that happened in the original Fuck Water because it's a sequel and fuck Theo.
Okay, so what we're having here is sort of a bad lieutenant dispute.
Yeah, because I remember mostly nothing about your film pitch.
I don't really remember it either, yeah.
All I remember is that it turns out at the end that it wasn't actually fuck water that was causing everyone to go mad or whatever.
No, it was rabies.
Yeah, in this film, it was fuck water that caused everyone to
No, you're destroying the integrity of fuckwater.
Well, this is a new twist on it.
A new generation is what you're saying.
So fuckwater has become a global epidemic, and only 6 people in the whole world are immune. Those 6 people are Road Warrior Patrick Fabian, Mayor Mark Strong, discriminatorily cast brothel madam Melissa Joan Hart, attempting to redress the gender imbalance expert gunslinger Julia Louis-Dreyfus,
Brilliant.
evil moustache having Stanley the Tooch Tucci, and this is gonna fucking destroy me, big strong Lenny from Of Mice and Men Like henchman Neil McDonough.
Brilliant. Well done. Holy shit, Neil McDonough. Okay.
So that's kind of the meat of the opening. We kind of just move into the middle of the film now, which isn't quite as fleshed out in terms of, I haven't like sketched out any scenes in particular. There's a bit of dialogue and stuff. So Road Warrior Patrick Fabian and Mayor Mark Strong go on a road trip to destroy the source of fuckwater, while evil moustache having Stanley the Tooch Tucci and big strong Lenny from Of Mice and Men Like henchman Neil McDonough try and stop them. So it's sort of a bit ambiguous as to why they're trying to stop them.
Yeah, don't they like... Why there are only 6 people in the entire world? That's not very many.
Well, there are other people, but
they're all just foaming at the mouth and lying on the floor drinking fuckwater.
Yeah. One of the big plot points that we just come to in the middle of the film is they stop in with discriminatorily cast brothel madam Melissa Joan Hart.
Oh, I forgot about her.
And they stop all of the fuckwater zombies from doing bad sex with the hooers, who are also fuckwater zombies.
Wait, who are the hooers played by?
Various.
Wait. But are the hooers infected? Because you said that...
I just said they're also fuckwater zombies.
Wait, who are using the whores then? Because...
Other fuckwater zombies.
So Melissa Joan Hart is running a brothel where her only clients, customers, and staff are all fuckwater zombies.
Yeah.
Wow. How's that business going for her? Like, seeing a good return on that?
Surprisingly lucrative, because no one else is doing it.
That's, yeah.
She has cornered the market. I mean, fuckwater zombies don't pay the best.
No.
And they're not really big on tipping, but... do you tip a hooer?
I would. I thought it was like, you give her the one small coin.
You answered way too quickly.
Yeah. Like, you give her the one small coin, as we established on a previous podcast, and then you do the classic Peter Dinklage and put another small coin on the top of it.
But you have to make them into a little pile.
Yeah, little pile, just like, there you go. And don't, like, put it in her hand or something, because you don't want to touch her, because you've just put your dick in that, so that's...
Yeah,
don't want
and especially if she is a fuckwater zombie. So they save the brothel from all the fuckwater zombies.
Wait, but that... Okay.
Well, because they have to save it because it's that classic, like, Western trope. The fuckwater zombies are just getting a little bit too forward. They're, like, refusing to pay.
With other fuckwater zombies.
Yeah, but they've got to help discriminatorily cast brothel madam Melissa Joan Hart protect her, her living. So they managed to save the brothel and save all of the hooers.
So can keep business open.
Yep. And then discriminatorily cast brothel madam Melissa Joan Hart. She's really grateful, and she says, "Oh, thanks! I'm so grateful. I'll let you ever go on me dirty pillows free of charge, Road Warrior Patrick Fabian, and Mayor Mark Strong can sit in the corner and watch." And then Road Warrior Patrick Fabian says, "No thanks. I may be a road warrior, but I have a strong moral compass and don't want to do it while Mayor Mark Strong watches it anyway." And then Mayor Mark Strong says, "I won't mind watching." And then the scene ends. You can see his hand just move down towards his crotch, and then the scene just ends because we don't want to see him, like, obviously masturbating.
Or do we?
It's not that sort of movie.
Yeah, but it could be.
It could be.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not.
Mark Strong with his hand and his trousers.
That's what everybody wants to see.
Yeah, that's what we're there for.
The sight that America wanted to see.
Okay, can we extend that scene just a little bit with the hand going down to the crotch, and we cut the same point, but then we do like a reverse shot of them just standing opposite one another, but with their heads turned at a 90-degree angle looking at the corner where Mark Strong is, and then their mouths just slowly open, very slowly, like maybe over 30 seconds, their mouths just open, and then it fades to black.
I'm not sure you've gone far enough with that. I would go a minute plus.
A minute plus. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Very slow fade to black. The jaws drop, the mouths open, fade to black, and then we come to the next day. It's like, whoa, what happened?
Yeah.
You know.
And this is a completely artistic choice. You might hear like one of the runners just cough in the background.
Perfect.
So while they're there, they recruit attempting to redress the gender imbalance expert gunslinger Julia Louis-Dreyfus at the Hua house.
What's she doing there?
Because she's also a lesbian, and I've put in brackets checking multiple boxes.
Is she also a disabled?
No, but Road Warrior Patrick Fabian is, because he's got a chainsaw leg.
That's true. Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
yes.
so like we're covering bases here.
Could we make her like a quarter different races?
Yes. She's a quarter Navajo.
Yeah, we'll just sort of like paint a quarter of her head a different skin color.
Yep, that seems fine.
Yeah.
So the next thing that I have written down is to do with the climax of the film. So if you have any thoughts about like other little sort of episodic adventures that they can have on the way, then you can shoot them my way right now if you want.
Okay, so do they know where they're going exactly? Because
Yeah.
you said the source, but where is the source? Is it New York, where it all started?
No.
So any reference to the original work?
Yeah.
There's no Amy Yaz back in it. Wait, did she die? Sean Pertwee died.
I don't remember. I didn't remember any of the actors or characters you put in the previous movie, apart from Patrick Fabian.
Is he playing the same character, Thumbsucker Pressman?
Yep. But he's Road Warrior Patrick Fabian now.
And no one calls him Thumbsucker Pressman.
No, and he doesn't talk about his past.
God damn it. Okay, fine. Okay, I think I can deal with this. So, where are Stanley Tucci and Neil McDonough?
Not far behind.
In like every scene, are they just over the crest of a hill?
Yeah, looking with binoculars.
Okay, well then, like, if there's no other people alive in this world, like, I mean, they could come across people, but I assume they'd all just be fuckwater zombies.
Yeah.
Are these zombies violent in any way?
Yeah, but they're like original slow zombies.
Oh, okay, so you can literally just, like, push them over.
So you can kind of like get away from them pretty sharpish on a horse.
Do any of them have a whip?
I mean, Jesus, if that's the quality of your ideas, I'm just going to go to the end of the movie.
There's no one else alive. I mean, what can they... Okay, there's a funny bit where Mark Strong, like, falls over and breaks the neck of his horse, and they all laugh, and then eat the horse, alive.
Well, see, that's better.
Maybe there can be, like, a skinny dipping scene where they all jump in a lake together, and Patrick Fabian and Julia Louis-Dreyfus, they just have, like, full penetrative sex in the little stream, like, lake thing that they find. But Mark Strong is just there, but just, like, watching. But, like, quite close, like, maybe 2 foot from them, just in the water as well. And they're, like, thrashing up and down. And he's just, like, completely still, just, like, turned slightly towards them.
Okay, that's better.
Okay. But remember, I established a romantic relationship between the two gunslingers.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's fine. We will take that into account.
Oh, wait, wasn't she a lesbian?
Yep. Well, there's only one other woman in the world, and she was all about Patrick Fabian having a go on her dirty pillows, so...
Yeah, so we took the one slight subversive aspect and I just shoehorned her into a traditional romantic interest role.
Yeah, you made a scenario where a man turned her. It was really progressive of you, Theo.
There's no way I can get out of this elegantly.
Nope.
Fuck it, let's skip to the fucking end.
Okay, so their adventures reach a climax at the remains of the Hoover Dam, where the fuckwater epidemic probably started, but everyone's pretty much forgotten about it by now. And evil moustache-having Stanley the Tooch Tucci is there, and he reveals the truth. I was the one who dumped every ounce of fuckwater into the fucking sea and turned every person in the world into a slavering fuckwater zombie. It was me all the time. And then, attempting to redress the gender imbalance, expert gunslinger Julia Louis-Dreyfus asks, but why?
Wow.
And then Stanley, fucking evil moustache-having Stanley the Tooch Tucci just says, I don't fucking know! And then I've just put Finn.
Okay, one addendum to that?
No.
No, okay, I think you might like it. Okay, what was Stanley Tucci's penultimate line?
His penultimate line was, it was me all the time!
Okay, I want to instead change that to, it was me all the time!
That is an acceptable rewrite.
Yeah, okay, good. Because I feel like all evil Englishmen need to do that at some point, or else they're not. There we go. I could do it better, but I'd have to take my headphones off.
Yeah, I just experienced that issue also.
Yeah, it doesn't really work.
So yeah, that's just the end.
Why Hoover Dam?
Water in it.
So are you saying that fuck water rather than the gland that came out of Billy Zane, I think, was the original?
I forgot about that.
I know, right? I only just remembered.
No, my idea was that Stanley Tucci had like a massive supply of fuck water, like the soft drink, and just poured it into the sea.
I have to admit, I didn't remember Billy Zane was even in the original.
No, I didn't either.
I thought about Hoover Dam. Wait, how did it start? Oh yeah, Billy Zane was in it. I completely forgot about him, as has the rest of the world.
Yeah, don't joke about that. It's sad for him, actually.
It is a little bit sad for him. Okay, when it ends, when he's like, I don't fucking know.
How I see it is he goes, I don't fucking know. And then it goes on for ages and then it just cuts and says Finn.
Okay.
But like partway through, he doesn't finish. It just cuts and Finn.
How about at the end, what we do is we just fade in a picture of Billy Zane, like in memory of over the Hoover Dam with the fin.
Okay, well, I'll compromise with you. What I will do is we'll go Finn and then this movie in memory of Billy Zane's career.
Oh, I'd love it if someone actually did that to anyone. That'd just be the biggest fuck you. That's like randomly shots fired at Billy Zane. Yeah, all right, that's brilliant. That is. Wait, Neil McDonough didn't get any lines in that film.
No, because he was like the big tough henchman.
Did he punch anyone or like?
Pass.
Can we at least have him like, I don't know, beat one of the girls at the brothel to death or something?
Well, see, this is the thing that I like about Neil McDonough. I think he's charismatic enough to not need lines. I feel like he just has a presence just from being there.
He does look like a very strained, anally probed Matt Damon.
If Matt Damon ate a lot of cake.
Cake Damon. Oh, poor Neil McDonough. Okay, overall, I quite like your film pitch. I think we're going to have a lot of problems with having someone who has a chainsaw for a leg be seemingly standing up for most of the film. There's going to be a lot of balancing issues.
I mean, there might be audio issues, because obviously in the background of every single shot, there's just going to be...
Oh, wow, so it's on.
It's always on, yeah.
Is it a petrol chainsaw?
Yeah, it's like the
Dangerous.
noise, the really noisiest type of chainsaw. I mean, they don't have petrol for cars and they all ride around on horses, but we've got petrol for the chainsaw leg.
Yeah.
So anytime that he's standing, he's just slowly becoming more and more lopsided as the chainsaw just digs into the ground.
Yeah. Oh, so the chain is... So it's not just the motor is on, the chain is also spinning as well.
Yeah.
So it's fully on all the time.
Yeah.
So it's not just in the background, it's more like... going through the floorboards of Melissa Joan Hart's brothel.
Yeah, she like gets a bit angry with him for a second, but then just wants him to have a go on her pillows again.
So even when we're doing like a touching close-up of Patrick Fabian, there'll just be like a slight spray of sawdust or like sand or whatever's beneath him at any given time.
Yeah.
And that would also make copulating with him quite difficult. Actually, could we go in? I know we were going to do the fade out of the Mark Strong masturbating thing, but I think we should get like a romantic sex scene in there between him and Melissa Joan Hart and Julia Louis-Dreyfus, with both Mark Strong and Neil McDonough watching.
And the chainsaw just going.
Oh yeah, fully on. Like full speed, full rev. Maybe he even switches out the chain for a slightly higher bore chain for that sort of scene, so the bed really gets like sawed in half and feathers all over the place. But we don't hear that because it's one of those like sex scenes where there's like soft music music over the whole thing, but there's no audio. There's no diegetic sound. It's just the music.
Yeah.
And the music could be something like, I don't know.
Let's talk about Sex by Salt and Pepper.
I was thinking more.
That's better.
Yeah.
The most erotic music of all time.
And we'll have a shot of like 3 hands entwined at once with sweat rivulets all coming down.
Yeah.
Just as the music goes.
Maybe like a 4th hand just slaps down on it and then they just slap it away because it's Mark Strong.
You can tell it's him because of, I imagine he's got hairy knuckles.
Yeah, and also, little known fact about Mark Strong, at all times he wears a ring on each finger and they have letters on it and it spells out Mark.
And does it say strong on the other one where he's like added a paper mache finger so he can fit the letters on?
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on, strong. There would have to be his thumb as well.
Yeah.
How about on his hand, he just says strong. He's like in biro on the side of his hand. You can just see an N and a G just scribbled down there. Like he sort of started, put the rings on and then go, oh, for fuck's sake, fucking hell.
I forgot how many fucking fingers I have.
Okay, yeah, good. Yeah, I don't think I have anything more to add to this.
Yeah, will you greenlight my pitch, please?
Overall, I quite liked it. I think it betrays the original artistic intent in all forms, but I suppose in the modern Hollywood world, this is something we all have to deal with. You know, you create something, someone buys the rights to it, and then they do whatever they fucking like with it, and you get sued if you say otherwise.
Yeah, well, that's what I did.
Welcome to Hollywood, Theo. This is...
Welcome to Hollywood, kid. I think you're gonna fucking enjoy it.
You know what would be really good? And this is actually a legit idea.
Is it legit or is it legit good?
It's legit good. In the 90s, they did really weird, like, animated spin-offs. Okay, we all remember, like, The Mask and Ace Ventura and Dumb and Dumber. There was going to be, like, an Aliens cartoon at one point. Like, Aliens not for children at all, but it's like, oh, we'll just do a cartoon.
Yeah.
There's one for the recent Godzilla at the time, and again, it was like, really?
I remember watching the Godzilla one. It's basically like they're friends with Godzilla. And they make Godzilla like fight other kaiju.
It's sort of like, oh, we're defending the planet and cockfighting.
Yeah, pretty much.
Kids wouldn't have even seen the original film. Like, what kid watched The Mask? I mean, I know it was supposed to be family friendly, but there's a lot of fucked up things in The Mask. Like, people are getting...
I watched that film when I was quite young.
I watched it when I was quite young, and that's when I had a sexual awakening for Cameron Diaz, I think. Because she basically is wearing nothing in that fucking film, which is fine. But again, family friendly, and like, you're exposing 6-year-old boys essentially to Cameron Diaz basically nude, and she's like pouty and going like, oh, Stanley Ipkiss, I am 6. Like, family entertainment is a bit off base here. It's fine, it's not gonna fuck me up for life. I mean, it's not like I'm in a mental hospital or anything, but Jesus. Anyway, we could do an animated spin-off of this.
Well, to be honest, while I was writing the film pitch, it was getting a little bit away from me, and I was thinking at one point that maybe this could be like a TV series instead of a film, but then I can't really be bothered with that and just thought, just do a film. And then I only have to do one of them. It
is difficult to like come up with ideas, whereas you could just let them end where they are.
Ugh. I just yawned.
That's a morbid end, really.
I was tempted to just finish on the Stanley Tucci noise.
What the Boss Nass approach to conversation. This episode of Quality Irrelevant was brought to you by Casper. We know all too well that our days are defined by how we spend our nights. But what if you could guarantee that every night was sated with slumber so good that every day brimmed with brilliance? Well, now you can. Casper was created to offer the perfect night's sleep to everyone. Obsessively engineered for outrageous comfort, our mattresses, sheets and pillows work together to create a sleep environment that loves you back. As you rest, your personalized mattress, tailored to accommodate your exact form, will absorb your body and keep it safe and comfortable. An exact copy of you will then grow into the space you once occupied, awaken, and go about your day to day. Yes, our mattress clones are made from the finest memory foam available to humankind. Rest easy, as your mattress clone will do your chores, fill out your tax forms, and ace the big presentation that will get your betters to notice you. Your clone will live the life you always wanted, so why even get up in the morning? Why not just stay in bed? That's right, just stay in your incubated human resting pod while your mattress clones go out into the world and convince others to go to Casper.com. Thanks to Casper for supporting the show. Casper, live while you dream. Oh wait, that message was supposed to be for turn everyone into clones made of mattresses and definitely not taking over the world, thanks.com.
That's awkward.
I'm really bad at this.
Yeah, you are. You should quit while you're ahead or behind.
They're not going to send me a fruit basket.
No, or a mattress person.
Does Uncle Jimmy send you fruit baskets?
He sends me pigs' heads with knives rammed in them.
I've never got a pig's head with a knife rammed in it. I always get like, can you record that again, please? Message.
I mean, Uncle Jimmy's generally pretty happy with the standard of recording, but at the same time, he's not all that thrilled with the fact that we have 3 listeners. So he just stabs a pig head and then pops it in the post.